Thank you, everybody. My shirt is light blue, and it's getting cold in the air conditioning of the hospital, particularly along the streaks of sweat that form the exact imprint of the backpack that I wore when I foolishly rode my bike to work in the middle of a heat wave and clearly showed where that backpack laid. I'm getting off of the elevator, approaching the emergency department, quick enough after having arrived that the sweat on my back hasn't gone away yet, and I know as soon as I walk through the door, everyone is going to see me with a backpack imprint on my shirt and think, intern. And they will be right. I'm adjusting the name badge on my chest, trying to bring it into a little bit more prominence. As I approach the trauma room, we've received a call that an ambulance is on the way, and at this medical center, whenever a trauma is called in, that chaplain is deployed to stand in the trauma room alongside the doctors and the imaging techs, the ER techs, the nurses, waiting to receive this patient. Maybe to take some demographic data, we can give that to the charters. Maybe to intercept family members who, in their concern, might make themselves extremely problematic in the confined spaces of the ED. And I am hoping, as I slip into my usual spot between stainless steel carts containing medications and monitors, that the chaplain on that name badge will explain my presence in my sweaty shirt in a room full of people wearing scrubs, as if the intern right in front of that doesn't undercut any legitimacy that I might have in that space. And as we get more details about the call, we hear that it's not a good one. The person was found face down in a lake. It seems that they've drowned. And we know there's nothing that we can do except to receive them well, process, go through the hoops, check the boxes. And so the room falls into the usual dark humor that people use to get through moments like that, jokes in not the best taste that would not have been happening had the family been in the room. And then we get more information. This person is 17 years old. His best friend found him, and his dad is on the way. And all of the faces of the medical professionals in that room, people who are excellent at their craft, some of the most qualified people in the country, turn to look at me, the intern, and I'm up. I meet his father before he arrives, and his dad tells me that he was a funny kid and that he was going to journalism school in the fall. That he was out at the lake with his friends trying to cool off in the middle of a historic heat wave through the Pacific Northwest, the likes of which it hadn't been built for. And I hear the doors open and the gurney rattle, and they wheel him in. The EMT, who's been performing compressions on him for the last 40 minutes, still on the gurney, still pressing away, tears pouring down his face, because it's over. And I hear the father next to me make a sound that I have never heard a human being make. And I think to God, why am I here? You could have had anyone, and you put me here, standing next to a man experiencing the worst thing he'll ever experience, with the intern to hold him. And I don't know what to say. And so I say the same prayer that I have been praying this entire time, the whole experience of this internship. God, I will show up, and I won't be able to fix it. Don't let me run away. And I say a prayer that is wholly unsatisfactory, and I hide my face from this man as I leave the room, ashamed that I couldn't give him more at this moment. But there isn't time for that. This is a heat wave that the Pacific Northwest has not been built for. As a climate activist, I know what happens when it gets hot. And buildings weren't built with air conditioning, not anticipating the times when the world would become inhospitable to human beings. And people are hurting. Old people's systems are failing. Their constitutions can't take the heat. They're being wheeled in by the 2s and 3s. When it's hot, you get cranky. You make bad choices. And the car accidents are setting record numbers. And people are coming in bloody and broken, and their families are in the waiting room, and they're afraid. And I'm grabbed by a nurse and said, "We need you here." I'm led to a room. I'm led to another. I'm led into a room with a family where the son is standing at the side of his mother's bed, trying to summon the courage to tell her that they'll be okay, that she can go if she needs to. And I'm craning my neck to try and look at the screen to see what her name is, because I can't admit to this family that I don't know the woman that raised them. I don't know the woman who's about to die, but I'm here, and I'm here to pray. And all hell breaks loose. Over the course of the night, I'm present for 4 deaths, and I am late to 7. And I'm standing next to an ER tech who's folding linens, and I see splotches of black mascara appearing on the sheets that she's trying to fold. And I pick up a towel and start folding it next to her, and I ask if she's going to be okay. She says, "I'll be all right. It's just that my son is that kid's age." I've never seen it this bad. She's never seen it this bad, and neither has anyone else that I'm talking to. ER docs who've been in this line of work for decades are telling me that this is the most death, the most pain in the tightest window they've ever seen in their careers, and I'm the intern. And I adjust my name tag as I walk into the next room. And the night's unfolded. I'm talking to a family who's just said goodbye to their grandfather. I'm talking to the eldest granddaughter who is doing the thing that eldest granddaughters tend to do, which is taking charge of the situation when the family is in crisis. And she's asking me what to expect, and I am reaching deep into my 4 weeks of experience to tell her that the kids are going to need to play. It's how they process grief, and that she shouldn't be angry if they're not showing the same emotions as the older folks, that they still miss Grandpa. This is just the way they know how to play with it. I'm telling her that I'm proud of her for coordinating all the things that need to happen, the logistics and the homework that you get when a loved one dies, which seems extremely unfair. And I'm telling her that I want her to set a date on her calendar for 2 weeks from now to get coffee with a friend and make her feel the things that she's not allowed to feel tonight. And I walk her to the exit, and I realize that it's pitch black outside. As I come back into the ER, there's a nurse waiting for me there. She's the charge nurse. She's the one who's been coordinating this ship all night long. And she says, "That's the last family. You should go lay down." She takes me by the arm and leads me towards the doors. And I ask her, "Are you going to be okay?" She puts her hand on my shoulder, and I feel that name tag bounce on my chest. And she says, "We'll be all right. Thank you, Chaplain."